The Kensington SD7000 is one of the most interesting and arguably most exciting things to happen to the Microsoft Surface Pro line in a long time. It's also the most expensive, but today, let me tell you why I really don't care. Stay tuned. All right, the Kensington SD7000, well, it's not an exciting name, but what it is, it's a full docking station for the Surface Pro. And in a lot of ways, that's not unique, right? We've seen Type-C ports before and hubs, and we've seen other types of hubs, including the official Microsoft Surface dock, which has been out for years. So why get this? Well, obviously, it's about the whole stand thing. And if you've seen the Surface Studio, you should be looking at this and thinking, wow, it looks an awful lot like it, and you wouldn't be wrong. I think Kensington really went out of their way to make this look like a Surface Studio, well, a mini version of it. And they definitely worked with Microsoft for this as well, whether it's matching the color, the fact that it actually uses the same power supply as a Surface dock, which is kind of weird. It's literally the same one Microsoft branded. This is also one of the first products that's officially certified for Surface Pro using Microsoft's program for that. Let's get to the docking situation here. So this works with the Surface Pro 4, Surface Pro 5, also known as Surface Pro 2017, and the new Surface Pro 6. And when it comes to docking, it's going to use this Surface Connect. And that's actually sort of what makes this unique. A lot of docking solutions use USB Type-A for Surface Pro, and it's not as good because you're really going to put a lot of stuff through that one port, and it just can't handle a lot of bandwidth. But since Surface Connect is actually very powerful, one reason Microsoft sticks with it is, well, it does power, it does display, and it does data. So it can do a lot, including, in this case, 4 USB Type-A ports, which is in addition to the one that's already on the device. You also get 2 DisplayPort options. So one's DisplayPort 1.2, the other one's a full HDMI 2.0 port, which is really nice. Now, compared to Surface Dock, well, there you only get 2 mini DisplayPorts, which is not that exciting in my opinion. You still need an adapter for most people. Now, in addition to that, you're going to get a USB Type-C on the back of this, which is kind of cool in theory. Although it's USB Type-C, it's the limited functionality of Type-C. So it only handles data, no display out, no power. And that data is not my favorite. When I connected up a Samsung T5 SSD to it using a Type-C connector, well, the drive speeds were abysmal. Going to the USB Type-A, though, it was a lot better. So that Type-C is more there for a little bit of future-proofing in case you actually need it, but the performance is not that good. It's definitely not Thunderbolt 3, as this device and Surface Pro can't handle that. There's also going to be a gigabit Ethernet port on the back, which is super useful for a docking situation. And there should be no surprise, there's a Kensington slot on this for a Kensington lock, so you can lock down the whole system. Now, what is missing, I was a little disappointed about, was no SD card slot. I would have really preferred to have an SD card slot on this. I think it would have worked well for the target audience here. There's also no slots on the front for USB Type-A, meaning they're all behind, just like Surface Studio. Well, that gives you a very clean look, while it's not as utilitarian. It's a tough choice though, because I really like the way this looks, but let's be honest, it would have been nice to have a slot in the front as well. Now let's get to the bread and butter of this thing. It's the docking situation that makes this a full desktop PC that's really exciting. You can't do that with Surface Dock. It's just a brick that sits on the side. It's kind of actually not very elegant looking. This, however, well, it looks like a mini Surface Studio. So you just slide in the Surface Pro and you connect in that Surface Connecting, and it works very well. Now the device is a lot of plastic. It's pretty good quality plastic. I would have preferred a better material. It would have been kind of cool if they spiced it up with a little Alcantara on the side as well for some accenting, but there's also a lot of metal. These hinges are definitely chrome and looks a lot like Surface Studio, and the base itself is a mixture of plastic and metal. In fact, the whole device weighs 7.3 pounds or 3.3 kilograms. It's very heavy. And the reason for that is so when you slide the Surface Pro down or up, well, it doesn't slide as much. This mechanism is nowhere near quite the elegance of a zero gravity hinge on the Surface Studio 2, but it works well enough. And that's what makes this device really cool. Now you have the Surface Pro near eye level, so it feels more like a desktop computer, or you can lower it down for inking. And being able to use the Surface Pro in those different positions, well, it's pretty fun, especially if you connect up an external display, because now you can use the Surface Pro reclined for drawing and inking while you look at your normal display for work. That's just a combination that we haven't really seen before, and we haven't been able to do with most computers. Even Surface Studio 2, you're going to have to bring down that whole display just to maybe sign a document. It's not quite as elegant as, say, using this situation. All right, now let's get to some of the negatives here. Besides that port selection, some things I would have liked to have seen in the front. This doesn't have Thunderbolt 3. That's not Kensington's fault, right? That's just Surface Pro can't do it. But could you imagine this device if it did have Thunderbolt 3? So instead of this base being 7.3 pounds, mostly just weight and metal, well, you could have thrown in a GPU built into it, or maybe an SSD. So the possibilities here, in theory, are really, really exciting, especially if you go fast forward a year or two, and Microsoft hopefully updates with Thunderbolt 3. I think there's so much potential for this design. All right, now let's get to the other big downside here, the price. So it's $400, but you just recoiled in horror, and I totally understand that. After all, Surface Dock is like $200. You didn't even get that on sale. It's nowhere near as cool as this and transformative. This device has really changed the way I view Surface Pro. So Surface Pro is a portable little PC, you all know about it, but the idea here is I can use this now as a full PC for my desktop as well. If I was in a college dorm or I was looking to set up a real minimalist looking computer station at home, I would totally go for this, especially if I got this version. This is the Core i7 with 500 gigs of storage. If you're already spending between $1,600 and $2,000 for the Surface Pro, well, an extra $400 to change it to a full desktop PC, in my opinion, is actually money well worth spent. After all, you don't have to buy a whole new PC, and you get that experience to be able to take this wherever you go. I think that's super amazing. If I was in college, I probably wouldn't be able to afford this, but if I was in college, this would be one of the most killer setups I would have. I could use it in my college dorm, I could lock it down with the Kensington lock, and I could take the PC with me to class. It's the best of both worlds. There's also the business angle here that Kensington is playing up, which is if you run a store and you want a high-end kiosk, and yes, there are places that use Surface Pros for that, well, you can put a Surface Pro in here and lock it down and it'd be good to go. And now you can run your tablet apps and your full business applications on there that you need for customers, or maybe you're using it yourself at a cubicle, right? If you're working at an office, you can have this as your desktop computer and take it home with you or go on the road. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the price drop on this, but I will say I think it's totally worth it at the same time if you can find value in this. I think the build quality is exceptional. I think Kensington did a really cool job here, and it matches perfectly with the Surface accessories like the Surface keyboard and Surface mouse you see here. That's not trivial. So all this stuff I think is really neat, and we should at least encourage Kensington to keep doing this kind of stuff. But yeah, I would like to see what Microsoft can do with a Thunderbolt 3 port and give Kensington a little more options here. But yeah, I look at this thing and I kind of see it as the future of computing. It's small, it's minimalist, it's clean looking, it's completely wireless. You can take it with you on the go. Now, if you can get a GPU and SSD into this thing, well, I mean, the door is open for way more. You can turn to a full gaming PC with an external display using an Xbox controller. It's just really awesome. So you may not be able to afford it. It's still, though, my favorite accessory for the Surface Pro in the last few years, and definitely for 2018. All right, so there's a quick look at the Kensington SD7000 for the Surface Pro. It should be available worldwide towards the end of 2018. Now, if you have any questions about this device, you can also check the link below where I have my full review. If you have any comments, I know you'll complain about that price, leave them below and tell me what you think. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.